Sports Professor Rick Horrow, inside the $1.3 trillion business of sports. But this ain't just sports. This is a whole bunch of entertainment, future AI, augmented reality, things that will guide us in the next few years. Part of it happens to be sports. Again, HKS was founded years ago, 85 or more years ago. One of the largest and most celebrated design companies in the world, 26 offices, 1,500 employees, 500 million in revenue one year. That's yearly. That's their public number, not mine. And so they employ many sports people, but many more non-sports professionals. And one of the focuses is how do you drive revenue and fan experience through design as well as other buildings. Corey Brugger is the Chief Technology Officer at HKS, and he is an expert in the industry at development and integration of innovative technology in architecture and the built environment. All right, man, show me your stuff. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Rick. Really appreciate the opportunity of this conversation.
Awesome. And so while we've had people focused on the overall mandate and some of the new trends, I want to focus mainly, not exclusively, but mainly on the fan experience, how it evolved, the layering of digital platforms, the thought leadership in the space, all of that stuff. So first of all, kind of describe the role as CTO at HKS.
That's a good one. It's a nebulous one because we've focused on developing the role of CTO in a way that's actually focused on innovation. We wanted to take from other industries where we're looking at how do you change the opportunity? How do you change the services that we provide to our clients? How do we really focus on changing the way that the buildings, all of the components that support the buildings exchange or enhance the world around us. And so for the CTO role, what we really wanted to do is look at how technology is changing the way that we work, the way that our clients work, and the way that the occupants of the buildings we design interact with them. And so for me, it really has become the CTO role is really around exploration. It's an opportunity to engage and invent and design experiments that look at the built environment, technology, and the way that we interact with them.
Well, Corey, your boss, Dan Noble, puts you in a higher pedestal, too, because one of his comments and one of his writings is that we see ourselves as a technology company that uses design to solve big problems and unlock value for our clients. Explain that a bit.
So I think we've all witnessed the way technology has become part of what we do. Everything from the way we purchase items to the way that we bank has changed, and the way that we interact with architecture, the way we interact with any services that are being provided, whether that be healthcare or sports and entertainment, has evolved. And technology has really enabled new opportunities for us to design architecture that enhances that built environment. It's also an opportunity for us to engage with our clients and expand that brand connection, the engagement with the customer, with the fan, with the patient. And so we really look at technology as a way to enable deeper connection and higher quality of service, higher quality of experience for the clients that we work with and for the designs that we produce.
So you're obviously into innovation and thought leadership and delivery leadership. Let's talk about SoFi for a minute, then we'll talk about some other buildings. So it's not just, hey, it's hot in LA, we want to cover it, let's figure out what to do. You analyzed 100 years of climate data to inform the shape and site placement, and the building turned in a way to create a true indoor outdoor setting by optimizing airflow and minimizing energy use. It's breezy in there. how did how do you basically do it?
Yeah, I mean, the way technology is developed, we have the opportunity to simulate the environment. We use simulation to not only do the environmental work, we've started doing simulations around things like food and beverage, wait times, the queuing in bathrooms, so that we can leverage the statistics, the probability, and the environment to make better decisions, right? How do we provide that better service and the better fan experience? And I think, when we look at the way that we lay out the concourse at SoFi, when we look at the way that the shape of the roof is designed, all of that is to optimize fan experience, to take advantage of the locale, to take advantage of the weather, to take advantage of really what we're trying to put in front of the team and in front of the fan is the best local experience we can get from the design and from the ambitions of the client. And I think SoFi is a great example where we've leveraged technology from the design and simulation side to really understand what our goals are, what the outcomes of the design will be, all the way through how we deliver the building. And so for us, the opportunity to leverage that technology on the design side as well as on the simulation is really about better operations, better business, better experience for the fans. And SoFi is a kind of pinnacle of leveraging those technologies for the design process.
And of course, Corey, you know that I'm dangerous because I'm a lawyer that tries to speak in these terms and I fail miserably. But you've got a patented algorithm that dealt with the stadium skin as 35,000 individual aluminum panels, each with a unique size and perforation pattern, a new way to manufacture, deliver, and permit the panels.
There was conversation again about Jimbo Fisher and the future of this Texas A&M program that has lessened the last few weeks. But brothers, give me your arms, because we're brothers in arms. Alabama -2.5, a college football today trio of a special.
I'm laying the 14.5. Best bet, I'm 0 for 2 over the last couple of weeks. Georgia roll.
That changes today.
College football today, only on Sports Grid.
He's like not trying to completely bash them, Joe. He's saying things like, well, the offense is pretty young, and but at the same time, like, he is kind of bashing. Like, the defense can't give up any touchdowns.
You can't say Green Bay is not within striking distance. They just need a little more consistent offense, and Aaron Jones wasn't in that offense last night. It was all A.J. Dillon.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on Sports Grid.
But the Bengals offense, Warren, yesterday, and most importantly, I saw Burrow scrambling a little bit. Now, I know Jamar Chase was a monster in this game.
He's not going to take off and scramble left and right, but he is going to buy the time in the pocket and get to a better position or get to a better throwing lane, throwing window. And he does that a lot, and he couldn't do that the first month of the season, but he was able to do that this past week.
Newswire, only on Sports Grid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
It's smarter to be on Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network.
We'll look at the Heisman Trophy
The early line
and what it all means. Individual success.
You should have tried to get something for Anthony Rendon. Not bought at the deadline.
Newswire.
We're getting a lot of news, trades, cuts, and some movement in terms of starting quarterbacks,
Pharrell
backup quarterbacks.
Coast to Coast.
I want to watch great players make buckets and win games.
Game time decisions.
I have no idea what the heck the Blazers are doing and what they need.
In-game live,
Just
prime time.
Yard for a grand slam.
The bottom of the fourth inning in a 12-2 baseball game. We got football scores going on at Wrigley right now.
Sports Rage
That was
late
good betting.
night.
We waited for 1.5. We got paid
We
information. Didn't like the 2.5. Jumped on
There's
it.
no taking weeks off in golf betting ever. These are the best weeks to bet.
It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
What do you guys learn from COVID design that you've now taken to the next step of facility design after COVID?
Yeah, I mean, I think COVID was a learning experience for us all, right? And man, we had two stadiums under construction during COVID, but there's opportunity for us to help in the navigation and to really look at it from a logistics strategy and operational standpoint. So providing that information to give the clients or to give people a little bit of choice on how they exist, how they operate inside of inside of the stadiums.
You may not know this, but to make this up, even if you don't know it, statistically, my sense is that fans who are losing teams, fans at games, and home teams will lose maybe 45% of the time, not always, but sometimes. They move slower, they get out slower, they buy less stuff, maybe alcohol, but that's shut off after the third period, and they're generally morose. You prove it? Yes? No?
I think that might be based on market, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm from Pennsylvania, so and I'm a diehard Philadelphia sports fan. So I would probably say that would be 100% wrong in Philly. We probably spend more, drink more when the teams are losing, versus when they're actually we probably do the same when they're winning. But I do think that you tend to see that fan dissipation happen, particularly in blowout games. And I think that goes back to where or how are fans engaging or committed to the team. I think I think it's human nature to be disappointed, especially in a blowout or in a loss scenario. But I think there's opportunity there as well to keep people engaged.
Yeah.
I do think that I don't know the statistic, but I would say that there's probably ebbs and flows in whether people have hope that something might happen. But I think I think that is part of our opportunity with designing a broader experience to keep people around the stadium longer and to keep them more engaged with the team.
Yes, and I sound like a cynical idiot asking that first question to really set up a serious second question, which is you can't always win, but you can always provide an enhanced, comprehensive, valuable fan experience so people will keep coming back. That's got to be a very important mantra as you design your next building or buildings.
100%. I think like going back to SoFi as an example, I mean, there's 260 luxury suites. There's 13,000 premium seats, but that's 7 different suite types. There's 12 different clubs. There's an aspect of the sports world and the entertainment world where it's not just what's happening on the field. You're looking at how do you curate the food and beverage? How do you curate the digital experience? So the TVs, the sound, the opportunity to see what's going on, not just on the field, but around the league. So we've been working really hard with every stadium to give a new type of experience, to look at how do you connect them to the sports world, to the team, to the game. At SoFi, if you ever get the chance to sit in the cabanas, you're on the field. And I've never gotten to the end zone ones. One day I hope somebody invites me, but on the sidelines, you are right behind all of the bench. You get to see the action. You get to hear and feel what's going on. And those different experiences are about connecting people to a new view of what's happening on the field, within the game. You hear different things, you see different things. Even looking at the video board, our infinity board at SoFi, the goal of that was that you never miss an action. You can be in line queuing to go to the bathroom or to get a beer, but you can see what's happening. And the more we find those opportunities to connect through different experiences, different designed experiences, different curation from food and beverage, that's an opportunity to create a true kind of multi-experience venue. And that's really the way that we've been looking at design to continue to evolve the fan engagement.
A couple more questions. One more from your fearless leader, Dan Noble again. He's talking about creating beautiful spaces that help address things like climate change, mental health crisis, and even systematic inequity and pandemic control. Pretty lofty statement, but when you look at what you do, it's kind of a mandate for future action. How do you feel about that?
I actually love that. I wake up every morning, and the one thing that I think about is every decision we make as architects changes the world. No matter what we're doing, we're making a decision that will change part of the world, and that should weigh heavy with anybody who's working in the profession. Um, and so with that, the way that we look at our work, again, because we talked about SoFi, it's 300 acres. Well, so, Hollywood Park is 300 acres. There's 25 acres of open space. There's a 6 acre lake. All of that is open 24/7 to the public. So there's these opportunities to give back, right? So when we're looking through design, when we're engaging with clients, we're always looking at how do we make it local? How do we make it part of that community so that we're enhancing what's there? And I think it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we take head on. And whether it's healthcare work or education work, our goal is to improve the lives of the people who we design for, and that's a privilege to say that that's what you get to do every day.
Finally, Corey Brugger, Chief Technology Officer at HKS. Where is the industry in 5 years? And maybe more important, where's Corey Brugger in 5 years?
I'm probably going to be sitting right here having another conversation with you. I think that the industry is going so many different directions. I do think that the fan engagement is going to change so much. The way that we view sports. We have another project opening up in Hollywood Park as well as in Grandview, Texas, or Grapevine, Texas, which is called Cosm, and it's really a new way to view the sporting events or concert events, and they're doing a ton of 3D capture. So you're in an immersive screen venue where you're part of the action, and it's never been done in sporting events and entertainment events to put people that close to the action. And so I think the way that we evolve how we view, how we engage, how we interact with sports, with entertainment, with healthcare is going to change. I think the disconnection, one thing we learned during COVID is that we can do stuff separately, right? We're in different locations, but we can do it in a way that gets to the point that allows us to provide the services. So, in healthcare, we have telehealth. I think in sports and entertainment, you're going to see more opportunities for direct engagement with clients, or with the teams, with players. You'll see opportunities for direct engagement with the broadcast, right? So how do you personalize the content that you see? So I don't know. I mean, I think the future's wide open. There's so many incredible technologies evolving. There's so much opportunity for us to look at what our clients need, what the occupants of the buildings need, and contribute in a way that makes it better for everyone. I'm, personally excited about where we are in 5 years. I don't know that there are aspects that won't change, right? The on-field experience is always going to be the on-field experience. Being in a stadium is something we can't change, but I think that the opportunities to be part of that are going to grow, and they're going to grow exponentially. And that's great because, the large majority of fans don't ever get to have that in-field experience, that in-stadium experience. So the more we can get them closer to that same feeling, that same connection to what's happening during the event, the better off we are. And I see a lot of opportunity and a lot of really innovation happening in those areas right now.
I, for one, think you better stay in this industry because the industry needs you. Corey Brugger, CTO, HKS. Rick Horrow, Sports Professor. See you in a while.